So, after discussing the general properties of gaseous state, today we are going to discuss about various gas laws and their numericals. And the first law related with gases is Boyle's law. Boyle's law, that is a very important law, and it states that if temperature remains constant, then volume of a gas is inversely proportional to pressure. I am repeating, if temperature remains constant, then volume of a gas is inversely proportional to pressure. Mathematically, V is directly proportional to 1 by P at constant temperature. So, PV is equal to constant at constant temperature, and P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. These are the statement of Boyle's law, and there can be three graphs related with it. In first graph we can plot volume versus 1 by P. Then we will get a straight line passing through origin. Second graph can be plotted by taking PV versus P or V. As it is constant, so we will get a straight line parallel to x-axis, and the final graph will be V versus 1 by P. Then we will get a V versus P. Then we will get a third line with negative slope. All these are the graph of Boyle's law. Now one more term, important term related with it is the Boyle's temperature. Boyle's temperature. Question may be there. What is Boyle's temperature? Here, Boyle's temperature is the maximum temperature up to which Boyle's law is valid. The maximum temperature up to which Boyle's law is valid, that is known as Boyle's temperature. And mathematically, Boyle's temperature is denoted by that Pb, and that should be equal to A over Rb. A over Rb, where A and B are the van der Waals gas constant. Later on we will discuss their significance and unit. A and B are the van der Waals gas constant. R is the universal gas constant, we already discussed. Pb is the Boyle's temperature, that should be equal to A by Rb. A and B are the van der Waals gas constant, and R is the universal gas constant. Now we have to discuss few numericals about Boyle's law. Now question may be there, if a gas has volume of 20 ml at 5 atmospheric pressure, then what will be the volume of same gas at 2 atmospheric pressure if temperature remains constant? If temperature remains constant. So here the formula applied will be P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 at constant temperature. Pressure is given, that is 5 atmosphere. Volume is initial 20 ml. Final pressure is 2 atmosphere. Volume we need to find, and that comes out to be 50 ml. Volume of gas at 2 atmosphere will be equal to 50 ml. Now, one more numerical I am taking. If a bulb of unknown capacity, question is very important one. If a bulb of unknown capacity is containing a gas at 1 atmosphere and it is connected with another bulb of capacity 0.5 liter through a stop cork. Suddenly the cork is opened, due to which the equilibrium pressure becomes 3/4 of original value, at constant temperature. 3/4 of original value at constant temperature. Then what is the capacity of first bulb? It is a very important question, has been asked in objective exams. So here we can apply the equation P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Initial pressure is 1 atmosphere as mentioned. Initial volume, let's suppose that is V liter, we don't know. The final pressure is 3/4 of this value, so it will be 3/4 atmosphere, and final volume will be equal to V plus 0.5 liter, because the total volume becomes sum of these two volumes. Generally students do the mistake, they get V2 value 0.5, that's why their answer will be wrong. So here total volume will be there. Now putting these values, P1 1 atmosphere, V1 is V, P2 3/4 and V2 V plus 0.5. From this we get V comes out to be 1.5 liter. This is a very important numerical. Now next question might be there. If volume of a gas of a gas increases by 5% at constant temperature, then what is the percentage decrease of pressure? I am repeating, if a volume of a gas at constant temperature increases by 5%, then what is the percentage decrease of pressure? So here we can apply the equation P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Initial pressure, let's suppose that is P. Final pressure we need to find, so that we can find out the percentage degree. Initial volume, let's suppose that is 100 ml. So final volume will be 5% increase of this, so 105 ml. Now putting these values here, we might get P1, that is P, into V1, that is 100, that is equal to P2 we need to find, and V2, that will be 105. From here P2 comes out to be 20/21 into P. So decrease of pressure will be P1 minus P2. and that should be equal to P minus 20 by 21 into P. That should be equal to 1 over 21 or P over 21. So percentage decrease will be equal to, that should be equal to P1 minus P2 over P1 into 100. So that comes out to be 100 over 21, and that should be equal to 21 for the 184, 16 carry 160, then it 7. That comes out to be 4.76%. This should be the percentage decrease of pressure. I hope you understand 3 numericals I have done. Same way other questions might be in your books. You have to do the practice and you can ask your doubt through my WhatsApp number. Now we have to discuss about the second gaseous law, and the second law is known as Charles law. Second law is known as Charles law. It is also very important one, and this Charles law can be stated in 2 ways. The Charles law can be stated in 2 ways. The first way or first statement of Charles law is that if the pressure remains constant, then volume of a gas increases by 1 upon 273 times volume of gas at 0 degree centigrade for every degree rise of temperature. I am repeating, the volume of a gas increases by 1 upon 273 times volume of gas at 0 degree centigrade for every degree rise of temperature. Mathematically, it can be Vt is equal to V0 plus V0 over 273 into delta T. That should be the applied form, where Vt is the volume of gas at temperature T, V0 is the volume of gas at 0 degree centigrade, and delta T is the change of temperature in degree centigrade. Or it can be stated like this: if pressure remains constant, then volume of a gas is directly proportional to temperature. If pressure remains constant, then volume of a gas is directly proportional to temperature. So V is directly proportional to T. From here we get V by T is equal to constant. V by T is equal to constant at constant pressure. From this we will get equation V1 T2, that is equal to V2 T1 at constant pressure. Now we have plotted the graphs. Very important graphs will be there. Here temperature are in Kelvin. First way we can plot like this. Volume is plotted against temperature, then we will get a straight line. But keep it in mind that straight line will not start from origin. Because the absolute zero temperature can never be attained. Reason I have explained, because at absolute zero temperature the gases will seize out. Or it can be plotted like this, where temperature in centigrade, that is V0. So we can get the graph like this. Temperature on this side is negative, and on this side the temperature is positive. Here too the graph cannot touch. On this axis I have taken the volume, here I have taken the temperature. The volume can never be, the temperature can never be 0. And the last way we can plot it by plotting V by T over T. Then we will get a straight line parallel to x-axis. Now same way another law can be driven from the Charles law, and that is known as corollary of Charles law. that is known as corollary of Charles law or Emmentane's law. Corollary of Charles law, or that is also known as Emmentane's law. And according to this, if volume of a gas remains constant, it states that if volume of a gas remains constant, then pressure of a gas is directly proportional to temperature. What I am saying, keep it in mind, if volume of a gas remains constant, then pressure of a gas is directly proportional to temperature. So P is directly proportional to T at constant volume. So P by T, that is equal to constant. So from here we get the equation P1 T2, that is equal to P2 T1. P1 T2, that is equal to P2 T1, where P1 P2 are the pressures and T1 T2 are the temperatures. Now I am taking few numericals on it. The first question is that if a gas has volume of 2 liter at 27 degrees centigrade, then at which temperature the volume becomes double. Volume becomes double if pressure remains constant. If pressure remains constant. H, according to Charles law, we know V1 T2, that is equal to V2 T1. Here V1 is given, that is 2 liter. V2 will be the 4 liter. T1, that is in centigrade, 27. We have to add 273 to it to convert it into Kelvin. So keep it in mind, we have to convert temperature into Kelvin. And T2 we need to find. So putting these values here, it comes out to be 2 into T2, that is equal to 4 into 300, and that comes out to be T2 will be equal to 600 Kelvin. So in centigrade that can be 327 degree centigrade. So keep it in mind, first we have to convert temperature into Kelvin and then we have to do the numericals. Next question is there. If a gas has volume of volume of 26 ml at 27 degrees centigrade, then at 0 degrees centigrade, what will be the volume of gas? What will be the volume of gas if pressure remains constant? If pressure remains constant, here we have to apply this same formula, V1 T2, that is equal to V2 T1. V1 is given, that is 26 ml. V2 we need to find. T2, so T1 is given, that is 27, means 300 Kelvin. T2 will be 293. Sorry, 273 Kelvin. Now we have to apply the formula V1 T2, that is equal to V2 T1. V1 is given, that is 26 into 273 over 300, that is equal to V2, and that comes out to be 91/100, and that should be 0.26 into 91 ml, and 26 1 ja 26, 2 carry, 26 9 ja 234, and carry of 2 236, so that comes out to be 23.66 ml, 23.66 ml. I hope you understand the numericals of Charles law. Now I am doing the numericals of Hamilton's law. That is a very important topic. Question is there: if a gas, if a cylinder can hold, if a cylinder can hold a gas at maximum pressure of 5 atmosphere, and it is having a gas at 2 atmosphere and 27 degrees centigrade, then at which temperature the cylinder will blast. The cylinder will blast. At which temperature the cylinder will blast. Here we can apply the Hamilton's law. And Hamilton's law means P1 P2, that is equal to P2 T1. So P1 is given, that is 2 atmosphere. P1 we need to find. P2 is given, that is 5 atmosphere. Above this, the cylinder will blast, and P1, that is 300. So from this, temperature comes out to be 750 Kelvin, or in centigrade that will be 75 minus 273, 774. That comes out to be 770 Kelvin temperature above the centigrade. Sorry, 477 centigrade. Above this, the cylinder will blast. Now we have to discuss about the third law of gases, and that is also known as Avogadro's law. Avogadro's hypothesis is a different thing, but Avogadro's law is different thing. And first I am discussing about the Avogadro's law, and then we will discuss about Avogadro's hypothesis. Avogadro's law states that if temperature and pressure remains constant, then volume of a gas is directly proportional to number of moles. If temperature and pressure remains constant, then volume of a gas is directly proportional to number of moles of the gas. And according to Avogadro's hypothesis, equal volume of all gases contains same number of molecules at same condition of temperature and pressure. I am repeating, equal volume of all gases at similar condition of temperature and pressure contains same number of molecules. Equal volume of all gases at same condition of temperature and pressure contains same number of molecules. For example, question might be there: if 10 liter of oxygen gas at STP contains n molecules, contains n molecules, then how many molecules of CO2 are present in 5 liter of it at STP. 5 liter of it at STP. As I have mentioned, equal volume should contain some number of molecules instead of nature of gas. So for 10 liter, number of molecules are n. For 1 liter, it will be n by 10. And for 5 liter, that comes out to be n by 2 molecules. N by 2 molecules. Equal volume of all gases contains same number of molecules. Keep it in mind. Now, after discussing the three laws, Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Avogadro's law, now we can derive the ideal gas equation. That is a very important equation for us. And according to that equation, PV is equal to nRT. According to ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT, where P is the pressure, V is the volume, N is the number of moles of the gas, R is universal gas constant, and T is the temperature. To derive it, first we have to write according to Boyle's law. According to Boyle's law, we know. According to Boyle's law, we know V is directly proportional to 1 by P at constant temperature. Similarly, according to Charles' law, we know V is directly proportional to T at constant pressure. And finally, according to Avogadro's law, V is directly proportional to number of moles at constant temperature and pressure. So from here we will get the equation PV is equal to nRT, and its modified form, it will be P1 V1 over T1, that is equal to P2 V2 over T2. That is also very important equation. P1 V1 over T1, that is equal to P2 V2 over T2. Here P1 P2 are the pressures, V1 V2 are the volumes, and T1 T2 are the temperature in Kelvin. Now we have already discussed 2 times significance of R and its unit and values. As from this equation we get impression R is equal to PV upon RT, and PV means pressure volume, that will be work. So R may be defined as work done per mole per Kelvin. Work done per mole per Kelvin, that is known as universal gas constant. Its SI unit will be joule per mole per Kelvin. SI unit will be joule per mole per Kelvin, or Pascal meter cube per mole per Kelvin, and its CGS unit will be arg per mole per Kelvin. It has 5 values depending on unit of pressure and volume. First case might be pressure in atmosphere, volume is in liter, then its value will be 0.0821 atmosphere liter per mole per Kelvin. When pressure is in bar, volume is in decimeter cube, then its value will be 0.0831 bar decimeter cube per mole per Kelvin. In SI units, when pressure is in Pascal, volume is in meter cube, then its value will be 8.314 joule per mole per Kelvin, or Pascal meter cube per mole per Kelvin. In CGS units, its value will be 8.314 into 10 is to power 7, and that will be arg per mole per Kelvin. And the last case will be in calories, its value will be 2, approximately 1.99, but that is round off to 2 calorie per mole per Kelvin. That is, these values are very important one, and in numerical we have to use that value in which units of pressure and volume are given. Now next derivation might be there, relationship between pressure and density of the gas. Relationship between pressure and density of the gas. To find out the relationship between pressure and density of gas, first of all, we have to write down what is ideal gas equation. We know ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT. Ideal gas equation we know PV is equal to nRT. Here P is the pressure, V is the volume, N is the number of moles of the gas, R is universal gas constant, and T is the temperature in Kelvin. This is equation first. But number of moles will be equal to weight of the substance upon molecular weight. That is equation second. Putting this value here, we will get PV is equal to WB upon V into RT upon N. That is equation third. But weight by volume, that will be density. Weight by volume, that will equal to density. So we get equation P is equal to rho RT by M. This is the required relation between pressure and density of the gas. P is equal to rho into RT by M. Here P is the pressure, rho is the density, R is universal gas constant, T is the temperature, and M is the molecular mass of the gas. M is the molecular mass of the gas. Now, next derivation regarding this, that is the relationship between kinetic energy of the gas and temperature. Kinetic energy of the gas and temperature. And to drive this relation, first of all, we have to write down the ideal gas equation. First of all, we have to write down the ideal gas equation. And ideal gas equation I have written PV is equal to nRT. There P is the pressure, V is the number of volume, N is the number of moles, R is universal gas constant, and T is the temperature. Now, last time we have discussed about kinetic gas equation, and according to kinetic gas equation we know PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn u square. PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn u square, where PV is the pressure, volume, and m is the mass of each molecule, n is the number of molecules. But we know m into n, that should be equal to capital M, that will be the molecular mass of the gas. Putting this value here, we will get PV is equal to 1 by 3 m u square, where m is the molecular mass and u is the root mean square velocity. U is root mean square velocity. Now, but according to definition of kinetic energy, we know kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 2 m u square. This is equation fifth. Comparing fourth and fifth, comparing equation 4 and 5th, we get impression 1 by 3 kinetic energy, or dividing equation 4th by 5th, we get PV over kinetic energy, that is equal to 2 by 3. PV upon kinetic energy is equal to 2 by 3. That is equation 6. So from here, kinetic energy is equal to 2 by 3 PV, and PV is equal to nRT. So putting this value here, that will be 3 by 2 PV, and putting this value here, that comes out to be 3 by 2 nRT. And this is the required lesson. I am repeating it. I hope it will not be confusing for you. First, we have to write PV is equal to nRT, that is the ideal gas equation. And according to kinetic gas equation, we know PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn u square, where m is the mass of each molecule, n is the number of molecules, u is the root mean square velocity, and m into n, that will be equal to capital M, molecular mass of the gas. So we get PV is equal to 1 by 3 mu square, and according to kinetic energy, half of mu square, where u is the root mean square velocity. By dividing fourth by fifth, we get PV upon kinetic energy is equal to 2 by 3. From this, kinetic energy will be 3 by 2 PV, and putting this value, PV is equal to, kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 nRT, or average kinetic energy of any gas, that should be equal to 3 by 2 RT. Now we have to discuss numericals on all these topics. First question is there, what is the volume of 11 gram of carbon dioxide? Question is there, what is the volume of 11 gram of carbon dioxide at first case is 27 degrees centigrade and 2 atmosphere. Second case is 0 degrees centigrade and 1 atmosphere. So here we can apply the equation PV is equal to nRT in first case. P is given, that is 2 atmosphere. V we need to find volume. Number of moles will be 11 by 44. Value of R will be 0.0821 and temperature is given, that is 300 Kelvin. Because we have to take temperature in Kelvin, keep it in mind. So it comes out to be 1 by 4. So volume will be equal to 0.0821 into 75 by 2, and we can multiply it 0.0821 into 75, that comes out to be 5, 10, 41, next 7, 14, and then 57, 5, 7, 5, 11, 6. The decimal will be at 4 points, 6.1575 upon 2, and that should be equal to 3.07875 liter. Next case will be same formula we can apply. PV is equal to nRT. Pressure is 1 atmosphere air. Volume we need to find. Number of moles will be equal to 11 by 44. R is 0.0821 and temperature is 273 Kelvin. So that volume will be equal to 22.4 liter over 4. That should be equal to 5.6 liter. I hope you have understand this topic. Next question may be, what is the density of nitrogen gas at STP? What is the density of nitrogen gas at STP? Density of nitrogen gas at STP. As we know, the relation of pressure and density is P is equal to rho into RT by N. Pressure will be 1 atmosphere. Density we need to find. Value of R in atmosphere 0.081. Temperature is 273 Kelvin and molecular mass is 28. So density comes out to be 28 over 22.4, and that comes out to be 280 over 224, and that should be 70 over 56, and that should be equal to 5 by 4, and that will be 1.25 gram per liter. That should be the density of the gas. Same way we can do the other numericals. Next question may be, what is kinetic energy of oxygen gas at kinetic energy of 16 gram of oxygen gas at STP. So we can apply the relation. Kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 nRT. So that will be 3 by 2 into 16 upon 32. Value of R is 0.0821 and temperature will be 273. That comes out to be 3 into 22.4 over 4. Yes, sorry, we need to take 0.0821. Okay, now it comes out to be 5.6. 3 into 5.6, that comes out to be 16.8 atmosphere liter per mole. Atmosphere liter per mole. Now we can convert it into joule because 1 atmosphere liter should be equal to 101.3 joule. Keep it in mind. 1 atmosphere liter is equal to 101.3 joule. Putting this value, it comes out to be 16.8 into 101.3 joule per mole. I hope you understand. And the last question for today I am taking: what is the ratio of average kinetic energy of equal mass of nitrogen and oxygen at similar condition of temperature and pressure? Equal condition. What is the ratio of average kinetic energy of equal mass of nitrogen and oxygen gas at STP? So here, average kinetic energy shouldn't depend on number of moles. That should be equal to 3 by 2 RT. As temperature is same, value of R is same, then the ratio comes out to be 1:1. Ratio comes out to be 1:1. I hope you understand today's topic. It is a very important topic for your objective numericals as your class tests and various exams. So please do the numericals, raise your doubts and ask through my WhatsApp number 9728035202. Till then, thank you, stay connected, stay healthy, stay studied.